in the Fuzhou Panda World. I have also prepared a roadmap with me so that maybe we can check them all out during our tour inside the Fuzhou Panda World. Today, for our guide, we have Director General Mr. Luo. Please say hi to everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the program. Please stay with me during the live streaming program to visit all the 5 giant pandas. So let's go. Just by the entrance, we have discovered the new home to the giant panda named Ailun. Already we have a lot of visitors surrounding here. For all those giant pandas, including Ailun, could you please describe the features of these giant pandas? Ailun really loves to eat the leaves of the bamboo, and we think this is a big fan of the good food. As we can see now, Ailun is hidden among the leaves, and we have made this shell for him. This is made of wood. We have used the trees, and we have chopped the trunk of the tree in order to make that structure for it. As far as I know, those 5 giant pandas, they travel all the way from Chengdu city of Sichuan province to Fuzhou city. Are they well settled? Do they have any problems settling down? For example, Ailun, in the first moment, it's a little bit difficult and challenging for this giant panda to get used to the local food menu. For example, he's not so used to the steamed bread made of sorghum and corn, so we have added up some other food into the menu. Another question for the giant panda named Ailun. It will take some time for him to settle down and get used to this new environment. What about the other 4? The other one named Rongyao, meaning honor. This one has also encountered some difficulties in adapting to the local environment. For example, upon its arrival, this giant panda has been really mad to the keeper, so we have tried our best. For example, we have changed the menu. We have provided local bamboo shoots and bamboo food. So you have selected different variety of food intake for this giant panda. Yes, exactly. So we can move on. In front of us is the stadium number 1, where we can find 2 giant panda. One is called Kedou, or in another name, Rongyao. I've searched a little bit on the internet. From the look, it's easy to tell who is Kedou. You can tell Kedou by its nose. Currently, it has a rounded face. Just now, we have passed by Ailun. Ailun is now having its food in the open air. And what about this one, Kedou? Kedou is in the indoor environment. He's searching for the food. And for our animal keepers, for the giant panda keepers, we would like to make them move. We don't want to stay in the same place for a long period of time. So the better way to make the animals move, to make the giant pandas have some workout, have some exercise, is to put their food in different corners of the environment so they will keep searching for the food. They're about to discover what is waiting for them. So what is that? It could be bamboo shoots or apples. we have prepared the food enrichment. So this is a rather technical term, enrichment. Could you please explain to us what is enrichment? Enrichment is to make their life richer and to reduce the rigid behaviors. This is also for the consideration to better their health, both physically and mentally. Today is the first day of the reopening of the Fuzhou Giant Panda World. We have a lot of visitors here, and we can go check out the outdoor environment. Previously, Director General Mr. Law has mentioned their living environments. They have indoor and outdoor environments, all equipped with the enrichment measures. Now let's have a search here and have a look. Where are they? We can see its back. This one is hiding itself. So, will you please tell us more about the enrichment measures taken by the Panda World to enrich their life? We have, for example, constructed simulated environment according to the natural habitats of the giant pandas. Of there, we have also prepared the bathtub made of marble. And we have also planted big trees so that the giant pandas could climb up and down. In a word, we have simulated the natural habitat for giant panda. For the wild giant panda, they live in valleys and mountains. So we have to recreate the same environment for those living in the giant panda world. For example, the landscape, the vegetation, etc. So now you can find what usually those giant panda could discover in the real nature. And also a small anecdote. Before the reconstruction, this place belongs to this giant panda's father called Fufu. So this is Kedou. So actually he has inherited the house, the property from his father, Fufu. Now this giant panda is having the bamboo species, it's the bamboo shoot coming from the species, the variety from Zhejiang province. And during the food intake, I don't know if you have noticed that it's actually ripping off the exterior layers of the bamboo shoot, and also with this claws, it's holding the bamboo shoot. The giant pandas can differ from the big family of the bears because they are much stronger in the grasping capacity. Maybe from afar it's a little bit difficult for us to tell the difference in their claws. Kedou is now enjoying this food, the bamboo shoot. Now we think its nose is less outstanding than it has been during its childhood. We still have 3 more giant pandas, so let's continue our journey inside the Fuzhou Panda World. We're about to take the stairs, and this is called the the pathway of sunset. Because we are relocated on the top of a small hill on a mountain, so we have created this pathway of sunset. And by the moment of sunset, we can enjoy the sunset. And today, during my journey here, I felt that the experience is so different compared to a normal visit to a zoo. You have not only the indoor environments, but also outdoor ones. And also, you have added up this pathway for people to admire the sunset, so the whole experience has been enriched. Wherever you travel, you can always encounter a giant panda. Now, in front of us is the giant panda called Qihang. And this one has a twin sister. This is the spot number 2. We have the twin giant pandas. One is called Qicheng and another is called Qihang. This one is having the bamboo. So currently is the moment for their food intake, right? Yes, exactly. So how much food intake will they have on a daily basis? For Ailun, for example, every day we will give them 60 kilograms of bamboo leaves. So really, he eats a lot. Usually every day we will give them around 50 kilograms according to their feces and also their health status. Do you have any parameters or criteria to help you understand whether it's very well adapted or not? We will see their feces, their urine, we will check their health status, their workout situation to tell whether it's healthy or not. And on a regular basis, we also give them health checks. And you will also see whether they have the correct degree of humidity in the nose and mouth area. Now we can see Qihang is half lying down, half sitting on the ground. It's one of their favorite positions during the food intake. Talking about the design of the outdoor environments, we can see a huge amount of diversity. Previously, we have noticed a wooden structure and also some water basins. And over there, you can also find the baskets. Yes, because today is the first day of reopening of the world. We have prepared extra food and snacks for their enrichment. For enrichment, you have different categories. You have the enrichment by food, by smells, etc. So smell is quite important for them. Yes, because their eyes cannot help them to see clearly, so they are highly dependent on their nose. So in their world, actually, you cannot see anything clearly. They have a very big problem of the eyes called the myopia. What about the selection of the vegetation? As I've mentioned before, we would like to have a almost perfect simulation of the wild habitat for giant pandas. For example, those pink flowers, we have the rhododendron, so that to create a wild space for them. And now let's continue our journey still with the spot number 2. We're about to see the twin sister of Qihang, which is called the Qicheng. Now they are 8 years old. So during this moment of the day, they are mostly in the open air, right? It's up to themselves. If they want to stay inside, no problem. We will not artificially intervene the behaviors and daily habits of the giant pandas. It's up to them. Qicheng is sleeping. It's lying on its belly. And it's also one of the favorite positions of Kedou. You can also find the giant panda's feces. Previously, we have already talked about the salamans. According to the status of the excrements, for example, the urine and feces of the giant panda, we can tell whether they are in good status of health or not. And that big trunk of bamboo is also used for the food enrichment. Inside, we have hidden some food or some snacks. If the giant panda detected the smell, then this one would come closer and shake or rotate the trunk of the bamboo so that it can get the food outside. Do you have a different philosophy of design for the decoration of interior and exterior of the environment? In the indoor environment, we have prepared some paintings on the walls to also have a simulation of the wild habitat for the giant pandas. For example, we have painted wild animals, mountains, rivers, all on the wall to have the simulation of the natural habitat. So they don't like high temperatures. No, they don't like that. So is it okay for them to spend the summer days here in Fuzhou? If the temperature goes beyond 26 degrees Celsius, then we will keep them indoors. We have them temperature control and also the detectors. If the temperature goes beyond the limit, then we will use the air conditioning to cool the environment down. So they really have this luxury house to them, both indoors and outdoors. How big is the whole place? For each one of them, they have 700 square meters. This is the national standard. This one is called Jingliang. This one has an even bigger amount of food intake than Ailun. Every day, the food intake for this one is at least 30 kilograms. And they are competing one with another for the food intake. Any difference in their characteristics? This one is the eldest among the 5 giant pandas. The other 4 were born in 2018, this one in 2017. Jingliang and Ailun share the same father. Jingliang and Ailun's father is called Qiao Qiao. We can also read out the explanations on the board, some more information. So the mother to Jingliang is called Jingjing. Kedou's mother also has a name that is closely connected to Kedou. In front of us is the spot number 3. Now we are about to visit the indoor environment because previously the DG Mr. Law has mentioned air conditioning, the clean air system, and all the other decorations. As we can see, we have a rather crowded place. You also have the limitations on the flow of visitors here. In the first day, we have allowed only 500 tickets. In the future, you can have 500 visits during the morning, 500 in the afternoon. So if you want to come and visit the Fuzhou Panda World, don't forget to have the ticket booked first of all on the internet. Just now, Mr. Law has also mentioned the beautiful paintings. As we can see now, in their natural habitats, which is relocated very near to the Qingling Mountain, in the winter times, we can have snowfalls. So that's why we have painted the snowy mountains. And apart from the 5 giant pandas, very soon we're about to have the red pandas. This is the air system, the air purification. And the doors are always open. So it's free circulation and movement for the giant pandas. Inside, you also have very good lighting. During a sunny day, you can have the sunshine pouring inside the indoor. This is quite a dreamy environment. So after checking out the inside habitat for our giant pandas, let's go outside again to check out our giant pandas. Another piece of information that is quite critical for all of you is that in order to guarantee your visit and also to guarantee the normal living of the giant pandas, please make sure that you will not yell or you will not shout. And during the photo taking, no flashlight. Because the giant pandas, they are really sensitive to the big sounds. And we can even say they are quite allergic to the noisy sounds. So when you come to visit the giant pandas, please make sure that everything would take place quietly. And today it's quite happy for us to visit the Fuzhou Panda World. Now I'm about to give the floor to my colleague Wang. And my colleague will show you what kind of interesting activities can we expect here. Hello everyone, my name is Wang Yiding. Just now, my colleague Sheng Xuan has introduced all the 5 giant pandas to all of you. Maybe you wonder what are the other spots of interests inside the Fuzhou Panda World. Now we're about to introduce our guide here. Hello everyone, I work here. My name is Wei Xiaowan. Now together with Mr. Wang Yiding, we're about to kick off the journey and show you around. First of all, I'd like to show to you this workshop. Inside, you can find very curious interior design and decoration. What kind of space do we have, and what is the philosophy of design? Now we are actually having the simulation of the caves for the giant pandas to give people an explanation and also impression on the daily living environment for the giant panda. Here people can make a lot of artifacts. For example, the fans and also the lamps. Could you please show us around and give us detailed explanation about these? For example, the fans are made of straws. You can put some decorations on that, and also you can find the traditional umbrella made of paper, the paper umbrella. You can paint the images of the pandas on site. As you can see, this is a very beautiful example of the paper umbrella. The lovely giant pandas are having the bamboos and also the lamps, the paper lamps, with the dried flowers. This is also one of the examples of the artifacts that people can accomplish here in this workshop. And also you can use the beans to create the images and paintings. This is more like the mosaic art creation. You can use the bees to create the paintings. There's also wonderful interactions between the parents and the kids. Yes, indeed. You can have the whole family here, and it's a beautiful moment spent with your kids. Here we can create interesting artifacts. We can also describe the image of the giant pandas with our own hands. And after the whole day of visit, we can conclude the visit with a beautiful painting or decoration like this kind. And also in this workshop, we can see some finished products. You can see all those products made of the material looking like the shells. They have the glittering lights on it, made by professionals. You can also take one as the souvenir of your visit in the Fuzhou Panda World. And outside, many kids are having fun in this place. What about this terrain? This is a place for the kids. During the visits to the giant panda world of Fuzhou, sometimes when the kids become tired, you can bring the kids here. When they are bored, they can also come to this place to have some fun. And for the decoration, it has a tone quite similar to the natural habitat of the giant pandas. And now let's look at this part. So you can turn it around. The question is question and answer. The question is, do giant pandas sleep throughout the winter? Actually, the answer is no, because they have heavy furs to help them to resist the cold. And also you can turn around this board to get to know the whole day's routine activities for the giant pandas. During our visit in the Panda World, I've discovered a lot of information board of this kind. And why is that? Because we would like to equip your journey with more knowledge. When you bring the kids here, you can explain the key informations about the giant pandas to your children. Our next step is to visit the science education building. You have a place like the museum. It's quite different from the traditional museum. We don't only give the words explanations. For example, we are now in the Panda Science Museum. You can see the evolution's history of the giant pandas, different species of the giant pandas, and how do they look like during different stages of evolution. When I stand here, I can also have an animal image. It's quite interesting interaction program. Here in the Fuzhou Panda World, people can have different aspects of experience. For example, they can see the giant pandas, they can learn more knowledge about the giant pandas, etc. Here you have this perfect simulation of the natural habitat, and also you can use the tablet to have interactions. You can click on different circles. You can tap on the screen. So during your journey here, you can read out a lot of information to understand the evolution of the giant pandas. How do they live? It's a very interesting way for people to gain knowledge and also to get closer to the giant pandas. I can have a try myself. This is a VR equipment. I can see a world not as clear as usual. Because you know the giant pandas, they have this eyesight problem called myopia, so they cannot see very clearly what is in the surrounding world. So this is a simulation of what a giant panda can see. The giant pandas, when they have the bamboos, you can tell that they are very much relaxed, but maybe one of the explanations is that they cannot see what is happening in the surrounding environment. Can you hear the animal sounds? The giant pandas can make different types of sounds, sometimes really cute sounds. So you can press on the button to hear different sounds of the giant pandas. Just that one you heard is the sounds the giant panda would make when they are looking for their mother. Thanks to this kind of installation, you can get closer to the real life of the giant pandas, and you can have the first-hand information. Now let's continue with the journey inside the museum. We have all these other types of interaction installations and equipments, and there are also quizzes. When the school sends the students here in the museum, they will also bring the students to this part so that they can find the right answers during the quiz. If you get the right answer, you can get the points. If you are not so lucky, then the system will tell you what the correct answer is. We hope that by visiting here, you can not only see the giant panda, but also get to know the giant panda. So quite a lot of interaction equipments. What is so interesting here is what has been installed in front of us. There you can see different footages about the giant pandas, and you can tell whether it's in perfect health status or not. It's also a kind of quiz. It's called the immersive experience of education. We invite everyone to become an expert of health for the giant pandas. Through this kind of program, we invite people to learn and also to have a lot of fun. Now we are on the ground floor. We also have a first floor. We also have the information board. We also have a long history of giant pandas here in the city of Fuzhou. You can read out all this information on the boards. And now we come back to the ground floor. Actually, this is a 3-story building. On top of the building, on the second floor, you have a theater. After making the souvenirs, after visiting the museum, you can go straight upward to the second floor to see a movie in the theater. Now, this is a cartoon. You can have your experience about the themed films based on the giant pandas. Inside, we have this huge space. You can find beautiful decorations and paintings on the walls. This whole place is for the VR, and you can wear the equipments and kick off your journey of exploration with the giant pandas. What is about the storyline? You will become a visitor to the nature and you will be traveling with the giant panda. We have embedded inside the Oriental aesthetics as well as the natural sciences. We educate the children about protection of environment, protection of nature. It's also a very good activity to enable the interaction between the kids and their parents. We invite the families to come here. Outside the VR room, we can also find a souvenir shop. Here inside the whole area for the Fuzhou Panda World, we can find 3 souvenir shops. This is one of them. Here already we have a lot of choices, but for the biggest souvenir shop, it's in the tourist center. And let's continue with our journey. When we step out of the museum building, we can immediately feel the cooling air. We think it's quite comfortable day to come to visit the Fuzhou Panda World. Even though it's already winter time, we still have 20-something degrees Celsius in the open air. It's very comfortable and pleasant day to come to visit the Fuzhou Panda World. And only in Fuzhou you can have this kind of experience. In such a city in southern part of China, even in wintertime, you can have light clothing, you can have beautiful weather. This is another souvenir shop. We have fewer choices here in comparison with the previous souvenir shop we have just visited. But here you have something special. You can have the giant panda makeup. You can choose different images to get painted on your forehead. We can have more than 100 decorations of giant panda to paint on your forehead or on your face, on your cheeks. For example, currency, as we can see, it's giant panda lion on its back under the sun. And apart from the makeup, we can have some other fun objects. Here, for example, with the nail decoration, the manicure. And around the corner, we have a big stage. Because today is the first day of the reopening of the Fuzhou Panda World, this morning we have witnessed a grand ceremony of reopening. And this afternoon, there will also be some more performances. Many parents have brought their children here to have some sunshine. They are doing some sunbathing. And the others, they are taking beautiful photos in the open air. This is a wonderful place for the peaceful coexistence between human and nature. Over there, you can see a big square. In the afternoon, you can come to the square of Dafu in the Fuzhou Panda World to take beautiful photos. To this side, we can notice a lot of people. So what are they looking at? It's the giant panda called Ailun. People are surrounded here to say hello to Ailun. Ailun eats all the time. A big fan of food. This one is 8 years old. And the highest record for its daily feces could reach 30 kilograms. I can imagine how the kids are happy when they are brought to the giant panda world of Fuzhou by their parents. And now we have reached the tourist center. We have the biggest souvenir shop here. So let's go inside and check it out. And you can see different artistic creation, not only for the giant pandas, but also with the other species of animals. Here we saw more than 100 different choices. You can have the magnets, you can have the smaller bags, and also the perfume paper with the IP of Fuzhou Panda World. And this one in the IP is called 大福, and for the red panda, it's called 小怪. I think this is an interesting one. In the middle, it's an image quite familiar to all the Fuzhou local people. And this giant panda is holding the symbolic tree of the city of Fuzhou. So we have combined the symbol of the city, which is a tree, and also the giant panda together. We also have a representative one. You can have a free combination of different sizes of the giant panda. You can have this one with the giant panda or the other one with the red panda. If you enter the Fuzhou Panda World by the northern gate, you will discover 12 red pandas in total. In the future, we will welcome more red pandas, and if you come to this giant panda world, you can also visit the cafeteria. Also decorated according to the theme of the red panda. If you walk around here, you will see a whole area of winter stuff. For example, the gloves and also fluffy protection of your neck. Because from time to time we will have the cold days, so if you can have this really cute winter stuff. It can be interesting and it can warm you up. Because next week we're about to have colder temperature. So please don't hesitate to come to the Fuzhou Panda World and pick one for yourself to spend the winter days. Today is the first day of the reopening of the Fuzhou Panda World, so you have controlled visitor flow here. We have only allowed 500 people inside the park. We have very good flow of the visitors. Everything goes smoothly. You also have this information board introducing the protection history of giant pandas here in the city of Fuzhou and how this Fuzhou Panda World has developed from scratch. In the beginning, the giant panda called Basi has made this whole Fuzhou Panda World famous among the Chinese people. And gradually, this Panda World has built up its reputation. A long history of development and evolution. From this information board, you can tell that we always stay true to our original ambition. Due to the time limit, we cannot show every corner of this Fuzhou Panda World to you, but over there you can see the pathway. It's called the pathway of sunset. So by the end of the day, you can go up there and enjoy beautiful sunset. That means you have not only interesting interior activities, but also outdoor equipments. And you have also invited performers to have the interaction with people in the open air. And they are also giving out balloons to the children. And we can use the balloon to create a panda. This will also stay forever in the memory of the kids and the parents. Today we have such wonderful experience. And at the end of the visit, if we can bring something home, if we can pick out a souvenir for us, it will be a beautiful conclusion of the day. So for today's live streaming about the Fuzhou Panda World, it comes to an end. Thank you very much for staying with us. And in the future, please stay tuned for more reports. And see you next time. Thank you.